My name's Larissa Douglas. I'm reading from a section from
Look where it is now before you.
my book, Isis Chrysalis. This is the origin story of the main character. It's a story set in Central Asia in the year 1100. And we come upon the main character, Kudrat, who's a shoemaker. And he's taking his wares up to a Silk Road trading post in the mountains just before winter. Kudrat ran out of supplies because he delayed his trek to the trader's post at the Cutthroat Pass between two peaks. It's high above his village and its adjacent walnut groves. He hates the journey up the mountain road. Once travelers depart the valley, the road grows dangerous, haunted by highwaymen who know the paths by dark. They rob travelers, then push them off drop-away cliffs. He imagines himself gulping the cold, thin air as it freezes his throat, so that he can't even scream as he falls into the silent mouth of the ravine. He should be cautious, but these thoughts keep him engrossed and make him not want to look around. He trudges forward, eyes fixed on his boot. There's a repair needed, and the repair he made is messy, and he berates himself. It's not invisible. You can see the knot and the extra hole he made. A beetle, black-shelled and craggy, scuttles towards his makeshift solution, and he catches his breath. It's an unsettling omen. Bad luck. The ground is restless. Mother Earth's tiny underground soldiers are leaving their holes. They do that before a storm. They are emissaries of Anna, the dark lady who sleeps at the root of the mountain. No one should be out when she walks abroad. And Kudrat shivers. Suddenly, he hears crumbling sounds of gravel off to his left, and there he sees a man lolling against the trunk of a stunted apricot tree on the side of the path. The man, turbaned and wrapped in a ragged coat, regards him with interest and sizes him up the way a robber would. The thief stretches a knife in his saffron yellow sash. "Good afternoon." "Hello," Kudrat mutters and glances sidewise. There is nowhere to go. The thug lurches off his heels to balance lightly on his feet. "You too high to speak to me? If you fall into trouble on the mountain path, you might need help. Yet you reject the proffered hand of friendship." The thief jumps to his feet and follows the villager. "You must be off to do some business at the mountain pass. What do you bring to Kanat for exchange? What is your trade?" Kudrat resigns himself to unwelcome company. If he is lucky, the thief will not slit his throat along the way. "I am the sandal maker down there." He jerks his head backwards. "In Mantash's valley. I have my own weaving pattern. My sandals are cool in the day and warm at night, and the snakes can't bite through them." "Ah! When I was so high," the brigand gestures, "my father sent me to learn to be a shoemaker. We are fellow tradesmen. You going up to the mountain pass tonight? You must be selling boots now before winter. I could do with a pair. Let me see what you bring for trade." Unhappily, Kudrat opens his sack and produces a meshed winter sandal. The thief whistles. "And how did you wind this piece around the bottom? That's very clever." "It's a secret." The ruffian's eyes harden, his mouth a straight line. Already we have him in a dangerous sulk. The shoemaker sighs. Why couldn't Yildiz leave him in peace to nurse his headache on the stool at home? Why was he out here instead, wandering around in the hills with thieves when it was getting dark? The bandit bears his toothy grin at the villager's furrowed brow. "I know that look. It's a woman. Only a she-goat of a wife can make a man look like that." Kudrat involuntarily guffaws, then catches himself. "What's her name? Come on. If there's one thing I know, it's how to get the pretty ones and the ugly ones, to obey me. Between the two of us, as newfound friends, allow me to help you even without my asking for repayment of the debt." The thief flicks his tongue in and out of his mouth in an obscene gesture, and Kudret feels as though slugs are sliming down his neck. "You see this?" sniggers the thief, not waiting for an answer. He opens his mouth wide, where top and bottom front teeth are missing, to make a perfect doorway into his gullet. Beautiful for them, they can't resist it. Kudret winces, mutters, "For women, you mean? Or boys?" The thief's eyes freeze transparent for a second, lit like a storm cloud filled with the sky god Tengri's arrows. It is a dangerous, impenetrable, inhuman look. Suddenly he is not there, and his eyes are suspended in the space in front of his skull sockets. Kudret wishes he would learn to keep his mouth shut. Yildiz is always telling him, "Your mouth, Kudret, shut it, shut up, shut up. Don't insult other people. Don't insult the people who buy from you. Every time you say something, you speak it wrong. Let me talk, for the love of the Almighty One. You just keep quiet and smile." Oh, are we that way? Will this be the way our friendship goes? The thief leaps off the steadily inclining path and begins to pump the trunk of a stunted, bent-over sagebrush. He cackles and slurps his lips. "I thought you were walking up here into the dangers of the mountain's growing frown because a woman sent you. Maybe you were drawn away from Mantash's valley. Maybe it is a pull, not a push, that takes you to Kanat's trading post. There are so many who favor his warehouses, and not just for the goods that pass through all the way along the Silk Road." Kudret keeps quiet and smiles. No, I must not have made myself clear. I am only on my way to trade my goods. The nights are colder now in the valley, and I need supplies to prepare my shop for winter before the snows. The thief squints his eyes, his wiry rack of bones leaned back, askance in newfound appraisal, as he looks Kudret up and down. Yes, I was right at first. You mean a woman sent you up here into the hills on this fool's task, into the mountain's mouth just as it rumbles and belches its first storm. May the gods help you and protect you. Why, here we are dear friends already, and I don't even know your name." Kudret sighs again, inwardly, sadly. Wherever he goes, whatever he does, the local madman always goes straight for him. He is like the goat in Tumen's yard who attracts all the flies. Will it never stop? Why does he attract them? There is never any escape from their wily ways. He admits his name with complete resignation. Kudret. There will be no freedom from this character now. This awful thing, whatever it is, will have to run its course. Not Kudret, son of Arman, son of Batu of the family of Karakanli, the shoemakers of Urvana. Kudret sighs. There it is. There will be no rest or peace. He wishes he knew how to avoid these treacherous encounters. His family's reputation is like catnip to these characters. They want to be part of the story. Not the shoemakers of Urvana, last bootmakers by appointment to the deposed royal house of the Karakids. Gods above, the shoemakers of the Princess Sophia, who fled to Samarkand and then to Khorasan, the very same. Did you know the Princess Sophia? When I was a small child, my father made slippers for her, yes. I saw her once when she came for a fitting with her maidservant and footman. The thief staggers back, thunderstruck. Why, I would expect you with 5 teams of donkeys in a covered wagon fit for a lord with servants and slaves bearing carts of shoes up to Kanat, or even to his rival Bekir, who works the greater passes leading to Uzgan. What brings you here, Kudret, my new-found friend? The thief's toothless grin is disgustingly charming as he fawns on Kudret's cringing shoulders. He's almost sympathetic. How is it that you run up into the hailstorms at the word of a nameless woman? Kudret knows that there is no point in resisting or hiding now. Her name is Yildiz. Yildiz, a smart woman perhaps, a beauty? In her day, both. He almost feels ready to indulge the unwanted company. For the first time, he drags his head above the square of sight around his imperfectly crafted boots and stares up at the looming dark horizon. The mountains yawn with a first storm's promise, a brilliant, menacing, frozen lavender blue, a blue as only ice suspended in air can bring, uniform and beautiful if it were not so threatening. There are streaks of frozen pink as the sun inches towards sunset. This is a bad circumstance. They are far from Canet's compound, perhaps 10 hours' walk away, and that is if they hurry, and all of it uphill. They will be walking in complete darkness. It's already getting dark. How is it already getting dark? He mutters, confounded. He left before dawn. How is it late afternoon already? He is confused, uncertain. He remembers leaving while it was still dark out, but he also remembers sitting in the late morning at the front step after lunch and Yildiz telling him he needed to go up to Canet's. Wasn't that yesterday, and he decided then to go today? It couldn't all be the same day, could it? When did he leave? Were you distracted by thoughts of your lovely Yildiz? The thief murmurs, eyeing Kudret's puzzlement and confusion. Look, I know a nice little spot, not far from here. The spoilt type, like you might call it a cave, but me and my friends, sometimes we put up there with a faggot or two for a fire and a bit of goat leg when the snow blows in. We have no choice when the sun takes to bed rest for the remainder of the day and offers no more help to poor travelers like us. Something stirs in Kudret, a warning to stop answering so many questions and to ask a few himself. You call yourself a traveler. What takes you up to Canet's on this storm-bound day? The thief spreads his lips wide, opening the doorway view into his red dullet. Who said I was headed to Canet's? I go where the gods decide. I follow their best signs to guide me through the day. I never plan, but allow the instincts here and here. He rests one paw on his crotch and the other on his belly to take me where I need to go. But of course, with a friend like you, Kudret, I am also fair. He pauses as he inclines his head in the direction of the purported brigand's cave. He begins to clean his nails with his knife, his eyebrows shifting, attentive to the shoemaker in the sinking gloom. Kudret glances at the angle of the sun, already clouded and hurrying behind the mountaintops. He shifts from foot to foot uneasily. He has been talking too long. He has gone too far to go back and too far to go forward tonight. He will die if he tries to sleep on the trail. He has only one wool blanket, hastily packed as Yildiz hustled him out the door. You will not survive the night if you try to sleep here, the thief mutters, reading Kudret's uneasy glance around at the rocks and stones. No shelter here, none whatsoever, and surely as a steppe polecat kills rats, something bigger will come for you and your bag of well-made winter boots and fur-lined clogs. My words are true, whether you want them or not. They are true. Some things are worse than a new friend's company. Shall we try my solution? I have no desire to be eaten by wild beasts or worse out here. The thief scuffs around the gravel and stones, and indeed, Kudret can see the odd little flake of snow here and there. It can't be snow, can it? Fluttering down from the mountain's brooding heavens and leaving tiny, needlepoint dark spots on the stones. This always happens to me. Why does this always happen to me, Kudret wonders, and remembers what Yildiz is always telling him. Keep your mouth shut. You always say the wrong thing. Don't say anything, and you might make a living, much less come out alive from the nightmare that plagues your dreams. He senses that he would do better if he knew more about this character. His eyes trace helplessly over the light pink stones as frozen mist settles onto them in tiny ice particles. His grandfather chided him for being shy. It's all well to learn the trade, Kudret. You must befriend people to make them willing to buy your shoes. You can make the most beautiful shoes in Central Asia, and no one will buy them if you cannot be more friendly. Be more friendly. Is that what he should do? Except for Yildiz, and he's not sure about her either. Only lunatics wish to know him. Do you live near here? He barely chokes it out. And the thief throws back his head and guffaws a great horse laugh. What, does your wife do all your talking for you? She mind your shop in Mentash's valley? Was she with you when you worked for your father? I've even heard of it now that I think of it. House of the Princess. Shoes in Urbana. It has a good reputation. I'm curious to see the rest of your wares, provided you decide to come with me and we do not freeze out here tonight. Come on now, I promise no harm will befall you. I am too interested to know your family's story. Kudret unwillingly lifts his eyes to meet those of his strange companion. The thief's eyes glint black and small, not friendly or open, but they don't promise murder either. What's your name? My friends call me Smiling Toxta. My enemies call me by the name my mother gave me, but I don't use the same name my enemies use on principle. To answer your question, I live all over, all around here. He waves his arms around in wide circles and down, sweeping over the walnut forest in the somber valley below. What god do you worship? What's this? A personal question? So intimate so soon, Kudret? The toothless hole continues. I worship the goddess Fortuna and the god Mithra. He protects travelers, don't you know? Once a year, I have offerings laid before Tengri, the bright blue sky itself. All the rest of them can go to the devil. Who do you worship? Kudret normally would lie and tell a stranger, much less a friend, that he worships Ume, the earth mother and protector of livestock who provides the leather for his tannery. Or he often says, to avoid complicated arguments, that he worships the sky god, blue-cloaked Tengri, and his brother, fiery Koyash, the sun who burns away the frost. To keep the customers happy, Yildiz tells them that they worship the Almighty One, that is Yahweh or Allah, depending on who is in the shop. To keep the customers intrigued, she says they also secretly worship the night goddess, Ata, the silver-faced moon, who silently watches everyone as they sleep. But a stubbornness hardens Kudret's spine, and he tells the truth. I worship she who will not be named, the one who demands the Utraquist, consumption of both kinds, the sacrifices equally to the darkness and the light. Smiling Toxta whistles low. Even with the snowflakes now floating down, his instinct for self-preservation cannot distract him from this revelation. He is a real individual on his hands. Here is a descendant from intimate servants and craftsmen to the deposed royal house, who, alone amongst its warriors, once ruled over the valley folk and the mountain men alike. But the man is impoverished, dwindled down, despite his talents and family, to obvious poverty. And now he finds that this individual is even an acolyte of the routed priesthood of the suppressed goddess. It isn't the spirit the villagers call Ur-Ana, the mother of the mountain, or Mother Earth, but her hidden shadow, who sleeps inside the mountain's chrysalis. Fortune help me, he laughs to himself, although Fortuna is not laughing at the mere mention of she who will not be named. His own goddess has departed, fled high on her winged feet into the ethereal skies beneath the menacing clouds above the mountain. Not even a desire to get into the highwayman's cave can prevent Smiling Toxter from looking intimidated and smaller. Oh, I see. Well, I had best protect you and avoid her wrath this night. Kudret smiles to himself and thinks, yes, that's it. Now you start to understand. You cannot just kill me and take my goods, nor can your friends who are doubtlessly lurking in these groves. For I am protected. Be afraid, you toothless vagrant. I, Kudret, I am the real one, and you are nothing in the eyes of the lady's void. She is beyond everything that is. The thief looks spooked, like he can suddenly perceive the aura of power that glows around Kudret's form, visible only to the initiated. He clenches his mouth shut, denying the shoemaker any more gaping views. His lopsided shoulders straighten. He tightens his yellow sash and sticks his knife in it. Let's get off the road for tonight. We can start up again to Kanats first thing in the morning. Kudret does not move. What name did your mother give you? He knows that this name has power over this other and will allow him to bend the balance against the brigands in the bushes yonder, who are sharpening their knives to slit his throat. Smiling Toxta is compelled beyond his will to speak. The goddess makes it so. It is an invisible pressure beating down on him that makes him weak. He shudders and relents, and Kudryk can almost hear the lady's black night wings beating against Toxta's brain. She named me Erlik. Erlik. That's a name for whispering, but only in the lowlands near Uzgan. Not so far as that, I assure you. Closer, closer. It is truly dark now. Let us make our way inside. The cave will have better fixings than these bare stones. Maybe my friends will be there already. Maybe they will be, thinks Kudryk grimly. They follow a footpath off the main road, beaten down by a fair number of feet, badly concealed by stones and branches. Kudryk is no woodland tracker, like the hunters he knows in the valley walnut groves, and he can spot the bandits' cave. Greetings from a weary traveler and a newfound friend, shouts smiling Toxta at a sage bush. All well here from the storm, and I wish to spend the night unmolested and safe in Fortuna's arms, protected, as they say, from the weather and the tether. No more nor less than this chatter admits them into the fold of a small group of vagabond men, who lift themselves cautiously out of the bushes and hug the shadows. Kudryk makes out 1, 2, 3 of them besides him and smiling Toxta. 5 of us, thinks Kudryk. 5 for the 5 senses in this world and no more. That means I will survive this night and remain alive in this world until morning and after that. Thank you, lady, thank you. Had it come to 6, I would have known you had a larger invitation for me. From smiling Toxta's words, Kudryk knows that the men have been told to keep their knives sheathed tonight. He feels them glancing at him, curious to know why he, such an obvious, easy victim, should be left untouched and free to go when he is plainly burdened with valuable wares. Why should he be safe tonight? They all want to know. It's a rare thing in these hills to gain safe passage. So that's my excerpt. Thank you. Thanks.
What's the name of your book?
So the book is called Isis Chrysalis, and it spans a couple thousand years. So there are stories set in the past, the present, and in the future, and they all concern this goddess character. And the idea came from from physics of dark matter, and the idea that dark matter comprises 95% of reality, but we can't see it or perceive it. And there was even a notion that dark matter, there could be dark matter universes and dark matter solar systems and dark matter people. And I thought, well, there could be a dark matter deity then presiding over this reality that we can't see or perceive. And so if we told the whole story of what we can see and what we can't see, then we might understand the whole of reality. That is the premise.